So, okay, guys. So, what we were discussing, method overriding demo we have seen, right? Uh, so, in method overriding demo, mm, here few points what we have written as notes here that are very important points, guys, which you need to remember when we are doing method overriding. So, it is allowed to refer a super means a subclass object from superclass reference like this. See here what we are doing, p1. Oh, so p1 equal to p1, it's the same class object reference, but p1 equal to employee 1, emp1. That means what subclass object reference you are placing into p1, or subclass of p1 equal to t1. That means here also subclass object teacher you are trying to store into parent class reference. That is permitted, but reverse is not permitted. Means emp1 equal to p1 you cannot do. So very important point, and of course very useful point that you need to remember, guys. Is it clear, guys? That point which is very important and which will give you a real dynamic polymorphism when you are writing your code. Okay, you should remember this, guys. And next, this point, the basic point is we need to remember about parent class reference can hold subclass object, can be used to refer to the subclass object. That is important point. Next point is, the reverse is not possible. Means using child class object, you cannot store parent class object. You cannot store parent class reference, that you cannot do. That will not be possible. Next thing is, when you are doing this using the parent class reference referring to subclass object, the point is you can call all the methods that are presented in P1. You can call all the methods that are presented in parent class only, but not the methods presented in child classes. So assume that if I have some methods, so here I have like set details and show details I have, and those two methods I can call using parent class reference here in like this. Hmm, even though original object is employee object presented here, I cannot call all the methods of employee using p1 reference. But what I can do, see here, if I have some method in employee class, public string or void show message, or say hello. Some sample method I am writing which is not there in the parent class. So child class can have can inherit all the methods from parent, and it can write its own methods, right? So I am writing its own method hello from employee, like this I have written. Now in the overriding demo, here what we have, p1 equal to emp1, right? Now if I give choice to, if I give choice to, what will come into p1? The object that we are creating here is emp1. We are creating is emp1. So that employee object will come into P1. Now using, after displaying the P1 dot show details, if I say hello, then what happens? It will give you compilation error. See, let me open the command prompt from here. Set the path C colon program files Java JDK in. Now Java C method overriding demo.java. It says, say, cannot find a symbol on line number 30, cannot find symbol. Which symbol? P1 dot say hellos. Method say hello is not available in P1 of type person. P1 of type person. That means what classes are being used as the data types only. That's why we can call classes as user defined data types. So that's why we can call classes as user defined data types. And in the P1 class reference variable, so we are not having, it is saying what we are not having, the say hello method in P1 type. So like this, it will give you the error. So this point also you need to remember, even though what is the actual object presented right now under P1? Under P1, we are having a student object, right? We are going to have student object because we have given the choice as 2. When choice is 2, which is being assigned into P1? EMP1. So EMP1 means employee object, right? Under EMP1, what is there? New employee, right? So employee object is there, that is permitted. And even though original object is employee object presented under P1, you cannot call the employee object methods when the reference variable is parent reference variable. So if you want to call that employee employee class method say hello, then using parent reference you cannot call. You need to again typecast it into employee class reference variable. You need to typecast it into employee class reference variable. How to do that here? Okay. Oh, here you cannot do like this directly. What you need to do? You need to create a reference variable employee emp equals to employee typecasting P1. Now emp dot say hello. This one you can do. So here this is nothing but a typecasting. In general, what we do, what we call it as typecasting. At the same time, we can refer it as downcasting also. Means from super type to subtype. So whenever we are converting a superclass type reference variable into casting a superclass reference variable into subclass reference variable, then we can call it as downcasting. We can call it as downcasting. Okay. And in this case, what we can say, subclass reference we are placing into superclass, right? What we can say it as? Here also typecasting is happening. Implicit typecasting kind of thing, right? We have implicit typecasting, explicit typecasting, right? Implicit means without doing anything directly, it will be converted. EMP is converted into person, right? So that is implicit typecasting. Here, when it comes to classes and this reference variable, we can call them as typecasting. And here, subtype to parent type, it is going, right? So what we can say, upcasting. Or even this upcasting we can call as widening, and here we can say it as narrowing. But widening and narrowing you can forget, that is very rare use, very rarely using words. But upcasting, downcasting, you can, you need to remember. Okay guys. Yeah, Raghu, Sai, Shishir, understood?
Yeah, got it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. Now, mm, so this is about polymorphism. So dynamic polymorphism, everything. So now if I compile and run, you can see the polymorphic behavior of the code. Means here P1 dot show details will work as a polymorphic statement. See, it is showing like employee details. Now if I give the choice as 3, then it will show. Now what happens? Again, we need to compile it, right? Compile it. Now what happens? Tell me, guys. What happens? Tell me. What it will display and what it will do. Now what is the choice we have given? 3. 3 means what we are doing. P1 equal to T1 we are placing, right?
Teacher.
Yeah, it has to display teacher details. And then after displaying teacher details, what is happening? We are trying to typecast P1 into employee and say emp dot say hello, right? So, but now under P1, which object is presented? Teacher object, right? So in case of it is teacher object, so how does it typecast into employee object? Is it possible? Teacher and employee, not compatible types, right? Teacher is separate, employee is separate. Teacher is not child of employee or employee is not child of teacher. So here you get error. See, it displays the teacher data, teacher details up to p1 dot show details. It is displaying teacher details like Malik 28am 2001 Java subject 18,000 salary. But next when we said employee emp and typecasting P1, what is happening? Class cast exception. Teacher cannot be cast to employee. On line number 31. Got it, guys? So when we are doing this typecasting, that should be compatible types. That should be compatible types. In inheritance hierarchy, that should present in the same inheritance sequence, not as different inheritance sequences. Okay. So this point you need to remember. This would be the problem when we are typecasting into parent class. We should be careful that whether that are the same compatible objects or not. So choice 2 will work. Employee data. Now I have given the choice as to compile it, run it. We can see it works fine. Now this is about polymorphism with classes. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
So now the methods. Okay, now we let us discuss two other keywords like s- static and final keywords, or final and static keywords. Let us discuss. Okay, so next, the final keyword. In Java list of keywords, we have a keyword called the final keyword. So that final keyword, how do we use, and what is the uh, impact of final keyword on your programs that we discuss now. The final keyword can be used in three ways. Three ways. What are that? One is final variables. Next, final methods. Next, final classes. Three types we can create. Now, what is the final variables? First one is the final variables. To create constants in our Java programs, we use the final keyword in variables declaration. In variable declaration. Okay. So now, syntax, we can see like public final data type, or that can be public or private. Variable can be anything, right? So access modifier, we can say access modifier, final data type, and then variable name. Variable name, you can say identifier also. So next example, what we can say access modifier. Generally for variables, how should we give the access modifier? Private final data type int variable name, like a max marks. How many marks can be there at max? Can we have 1000 marks in a subject? Yeah, guys. What would be the 100? So that one we need to give like max marks equals to 100. Like this we need to give. Once we create like this, the value of this marks, max marks, cannot be modified further. So once we have initialized, what we can say, this is nothing but initializing, right? Initialized final variables at the time of when we have to initialize at the time of declaration itself. Declaration, we cannot modify the values or value in the final variables. Value in the final variables. So once we have created, That's it. The always the entire the program, throughout the program value will be 100 only. You cannot modify it. So even if you try to modify max marks, max marks equals to 99. If you want to give, it will give you, it will give you compilation error. It will give you compilation error. So what is this? Final and final and static keywords. Static nodes. So let's write, let's create a separate folder. Final static. Like this we need to. So this is about final variables. Once we have created the variable and initialized it, we cannot modify it. But the point that we need to remember is, if we have not initialized the final variables at the point, at the time of declaration, we have to initialize them in a constructor of the class. Otherwise, the final variable hold the default values based on the data type, based on the data types. So if you declare it as a double, it will store 0.0. If you declare it as float, then also 0.0. If it is int, it is a 0. The default values we know, right? If it is boolean, what is the default value? False, right? Like that it will store. Later you cannot do so. Whenever you are declaring final variables, you need to do like this. If you are not initializing like this, at least in the constructor you have to initialize them. At least in the constructor you have to initialize them, otherwise it will give you compilation means it will hold only the default values based on the data types of that particular final variable. So these points which we need to remember. So in short, what we can say, if you declare a variable as final, you cannot modify the value presented in that final variable. Is it clear, guys? Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the final methods. Final variable, final keyword with the methods. So how do we use to create methods that should not be allowed to override by subclasses or override in subclasses? We should declare the that methods as final methods. So syntax, how we can write syntax, we can write like access modifier. Method also will be having the access modifiers or not, like public, private, protected. So access modifier and the keyword final, the return type is nothing but a data type, and then method name. And this method can have 0 or more parameters. That parameters can be 1 or more. So like this you can define whatever definition you want, like this. So example, how we can write example access modifier, we can say public final return type, you can say like int or float or void, anything. Method name like show details. Usually which method we are overriding? Show details, right? So show details, if I write, then this show details method, this show details method, usually we are declaring, defining in person class and later overriding in subclasses of the person, like employee class, student class, or teacher class. But now if we declare this method as final method, then we cannot override it in the subclasses. So the definition which we are giving in the parent class itself is the final definition. We cannot override it in the subclasses. So these points you need to remember, guys. Is it clear, guys? What are final methods? Any method you can define as the final method, but you cannot override it if it is a final method. Next, the third one, the final classes. So final classes are what? Here also to create classes that should not be inherited into any or inherited should not be inherited by any subclasses, then we should declare that class as final class. Final class. So syntax, how should we write? Syntax we can write like access modifier. With class also we are writing like public, right? So public final, the keyword class, then class name. So under this class name means under this class you can write any number of regular class definition, just like any other class you are defining. That class. Example, how we can write like access modifier public final person class person, right? Example, we can write like this person class. So if you write like this a class like a final class, then what happens? Usually we are creating the person class. What we can say, usually we are creating person class and inheriting it into several subclasses like employee, student, and teacher, etc. You can write any others also, right? But now if we declare this class as final inheriting into subclasses is not allowed. That means final classes or final class cannot be inherited by any subclass. These are the important point which we need to remember, guys. Is it clear, guys? So final keyword and how we are using the final keyword and how we are, what are the restrictions that will come when we are using final keyword. Clear?
Yeah.
So this is about final keyword, guys. Okay, today we pass here, guys. Tomorrow we'll continue with the demo, and then we'll continue with the other keyword like a static also. So tomorrow same time, guys, regular time 7 a.m. Try to join on same time, or I'll tell if at all 5 to 10 minutes if it is actually previous session is exceeding. If it is exceeding, I will message you, but be on time. Again, already 10 minutes late because of me, and again if you take 10 more minutes, again it will be losing the time. Again after this I will be having some other sessions, and that's why I cannot extend some other things I have, right? Mm. Okay, guys, tomorrow try to be on time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah.